Hey everyone, this is just a quick update to let you know what's going on. I'm just getting ready to head out to SGC, which starts this Friday. I'm doing a panel, a live riff on the anime called Final Fantasy Unlimited, the first episode of that, and a couple other things like short films on, I shouldn't tell you, but I'm sure you can guess on at least one of them. You'll see them later, but the lucky few who are going to SGC will have a sneak preview anyway. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you there, and of course the guests and all. It's going to be a lot of fun. But the conventions are part of what I want to talk to you about, and the reviews lately. So yeah, Minority Report was a really fun review to do, but I was actually very surprised to see how positive the reaction was, to the point where people are saying like this is the best review you've ever done, which I was like, wow, really? Or like the best review in years. So that was a big wake-up call. So I started to analyze why that was, and yeah, it was kind of interesting. Where like I get emails all the time like, when is Final Fantasy gonna be done? And I'm like, interesting. So I don't know. That's not to pick on the fans, but I was like, wow. So that was why I felt like I'm always like under so much pressure to do Final Fantasy, and yet they're like the reception to Final Fantasy seems kind of lukewarm lately. And the thing is, I think it's mostly because it's like kind of what I've been telling you about Final Fantasy is that they're just so bad, and it's like, and I'm telling what I've been telling you, and I think you're seeing it is like they're bad in a way that's like they're just boring. You know what I mean? They're not bad in a ha-ha way. They just kind of sit on your face and they just sit there and boring. So they're bad in a way that's not entertaining. So I've been trying to make them entertaining, and I think I've been doing okay. But I think the problem with it, in fact, I know the problem with it, is I've been approaching it in a very different way than I have been with 10 and 10-2, in that I've been trying to get them out of the way very quickly, or as quickly as I can. The problem with RPGs and Final Fantasy in general is, I always tell people don't do RPGs, is that I've been doing them one after the other, and that has a double effect. One is it makes the production schedule very slow, and I think you've seen that. Two, it kills me. It kills me psychologically, and I know that's people are like, oh, it sucks, you have such a lame life, you have to work on video games. Guys, that's like, if you like try to do the math here, this is like, it's like 40 hours of footage. If you were to like edit this stuff, like just watching it, like 8-hour workday, 40 hours of gameplay footage, looking at that full time, yeah. So now you're editing that, you're watching it, annotating it, editing it. That's fun. Anyway, so like doing 3 parts of that, one after the other, and then, okay, so like what I'm getting at is that I had done like 3 parts of that back to back. That's like for 3 months. And then what I had done was, after 3 months of that, I was trying to get Minority Report out the door. And I was trying to do that just before E3. And I was trying to do that within like 7 days. And so what happened was I was trying to get Minority Report out just in time for E3, because I really wanted to go to E3. And so I had this almost, for me, impossible deadline to do. So I was trying to get Minority Report done in time for E3. And so I was working essentially like around the clock. And I'd been doing this a lot for like the last 2 reviews. I had set myself deadlines because I had to get a schedule. I had to get the schedule. I wanted to do it like regular. So I was kind of obsessed with this. So like I had to get this done. In fact, in this case, I had to get it done because I really, really wanted to do it, because I knew if I went to E3, I was going to be pushing out videos for E3 like crazy, because that one, you really are under like a time crisis to get E3, because that news expires immediately. So like I was like, I have to get E3 done. I have to get this done by E3 immediately. So I did it. I worked essentially for like 3 days straight. I got, in 3 days I got like 4 hours of sleep. I finished it, And the ironic thing is I finished it in time for E3 and had devastated myself so physically I could not go to E3. So I don't know if you knew this, but I actually did not go to E3. I had wrecked myself. I basically had to stay, like, I was out for like 3 days. Just, like, I could not leave. I was so wrecked. So, the problem was, so, like, yeah, for the last, like, three and a half months, I have just, like, burned out. I'm not like burned out, like I don't want to do this. I just need to like decompress the schedule a little bit, and I don't mean like stretch out the production. I need to not do Final Fantasy because it's so much footage. And I think what I was doing before was a much better way of handling it, where you know, I think people initially complain like it takes you a year and a half to do Final Fantasy. Well, there was a reason I was doing that, was because, one, it psychologically sucks to, you know, to edit that much footage back to back to back. It just takes so long, it kills the production schedule. And so, I mean, you just can't do that and hope to maintain any kind of schedule, as I think I've clearly proven. So, yeah, I mean, that's, and two, and I think this is a bigger reason, is that you need to do something else for the sake of variety. Like the last 3 videos I did after Minority Report was Final Fantasy 13, 13, 13. It gets monotonous. So I think Minority Report, as much as anything was so popular, was because it was different. So it was good because it was throwback. It was good because it was a different game. It was good because it was a different style of humor. And, you know, it was good for so many reasons, and that was a big reason why. It was good for me, and it was good for me because I got to tell a different story. It was good for me because I got to do a different kind of thing. It was good for me because it was different. So that was a big lesson for me. So, you know, it was a sign for me I needed to do something different in terms of like production for at least for a little while. I still want to do Final Fantasy 13. But especially for the finale, you know, the finale has always, you know, it's kind of become notorious now where the finale has to be like this big production, a big fight scene. It doesn't always need to be like, you know, how 10 was kind of, you know, with Titus and stuff, you know, but you know what I mean. So 13, the finale is going to be a little bit down the road. There's other stuff I want to do, but going back to my point with the conventions and, you know, how arduous the last 3 months have been. There's going to be a brief hiatus on, like, official reviews because of the conventions. I have quite a few conventions coming up, or at least 2 confirmed ones. I'm not sure when the 3rd one is just yet, but I have a 3rd one definitely, I think, in either late July or early August. But I have SGC coming up, and then in early July, I have a convention in Finland, which is remarkable on so many levels. I had no idea I had so many fans in Finland, but apparently Spoony is huge in Finland, so awesome! I had just double awesome. The last year I learned I have a huge Irish fan base, and so Finland, I'm just huge all over the world. So amazing! I get to meet my Finnish fans. This has been an amazing 2 years where I've gotten to fly all over the world, and how many chances in your life do you get to see Finland? It's gonna be fucking awesome. But it's seriously gonna be like 9 days. I'm gonna spend a week in Finland. It's gonna be, you know, 2 days there and back. Sadly, however, that won't be much of a chance to work on reviews, obviously, because I'll be out of the house. You know, I might have a chance to, you know, to script some things, but I wouldn't count on it because I'll be too busy. Like, I'll be in Finland, you know, I'll be looking at Finland. Finland's gonna be fucking awesome. So, you know, I won't be focusing on Final Fantasy because I'll be in Finland. I love Finland anyway. So, yeah. That's the main reason. Now, that's not to say there's not going to be content on the site. That's not going to say things are just going to stop. Quite the contrary. In fact, this might be good news for a lot of you because there's so many things people have been asking for that I haven't been doing because I've been so nose to the grindstone on reviews, obsessively, in fact. In fact, that's one of the big reasons I'm announcing this kind of hiatus, is because I've started to realize, like, I've been hardcore workaholic to the point of unhealthiness on this review thing. Clearly, is that I need to kind of decompress this stuff and do other things, which is why I'm announcing that I'm doing. You're going to see other stuff. You're going to see Counter Monkeys, obviously. You're going to see people have been asking to see, like, movie reviews, more vlogs where I go to see, the weekly, new releases and come back to see those. Just to see other stuff. Riff videos, of, I've got also, people have sent me a ton of, like, short films like you've seen in the Game Crazy videos. So I'd really like to do more riff videos, especially, because I've got a ton of them I'd like to do. I've got a ton of movies I'd like to do, especially getting away from Final Fantasy and stuff like that. It's got a review stack 10 feet high. I'd love to do that Frank Stallone movie. If you remember in Red Brown where I showed that Frank Stallone trailer, I've got that movie now. So that would be a fun review. In fact, you might actually see, like, a full-fledged review very soon, and there goes the workaholic talking, but, those don't take very long, especially compared to RPGs, so you might see that. So we'll see. And those are some of the most popular things, Some people say, like, Counter Monkey's the best thing you've done. So, the riff. I'm still looking for something kind of in the vein of Phantasmagoria, because a lot of people say, like, they watch Ripper, they watch Phantasmagoria. So, I'm kind of looking for something, as worthy as that to kind of do a follow-up. So we'll see. But yeah, the next big thing, I'm working on a couple major things. One is a major site revamp. I'm looking at a major site redesign, not just look and feel, but the major priority that I told the engineer when he's redesigning the site is that I almost said I don't even care how it looks. I said I want it to be searchable. I want it to be convenient to use. Because when it started, I had all the videos basically in a list. And when it started, I had like 30 videos. So the list was perfectly adequate because it was on just one list. You could look at them all, and it was fine. If you wanted to look, you just had to scan the list, and there you go. Now I've got like 250 videos, vlogs, all this shit, and now you can't find what you're looking for, even if you did like a search function. It's horrible. So now I was like, do what you have to do. Tell me what you need. I'll tag, I'll add metadata, whatever you want. Tell me what you need. If you want me to I want whoever is searching for a video. If you want it chronologically, if you want it organized by theme, tags, categories, whatever. I want that person to be able to either type, scroll down the lists, a pull-down menu, look by picture, whatever. I want thumbnails. I want whatever that person needs to find something conveniently to have that done. So, I don't know when that'll happen. Hopefully very, very soon. Also, I'm looking on getting, people have been asking a lot for mobile apps, which very, very soon, almost, maybe as soon as this video is posted. I'm going to do an official video very soon, when that's going to happen, something that will kind of explain things, but if that hasn't happened already, it will be happening very soon, so I'll let you know about that when it happens. So yeah, that one's very exciting as well. So, anything else I'm forgetting? I don't think so. But yeah, that's what's going on, so now you know officially everything that's going on with me psychologically, physically, professionally. But I'm feeling much better now. So yeah, hope to see you all at SGC. If you're going to Finland or you live in Finland, I'll see you there too. Not sure I'm doing a riff in Finland, but if they want me to, I'll do one. So anyway, I'll see you there. You guys have fun, and I'll do some Counter Monkeys along the way. Anyway, bye!